Hello my dear children, welcome to Learner's Planet. Children, in today's session we are going to discuss about the different processes which takes place in different states of matter, that is solids, liquids and gases. So children, let us start with this session and study about all the processes. Yes children, as we already know that the matter can change from one state to another. And the best example which can be explained here is water. For example, water which is liquid at room temperature can be changed into steam, which is a gas, and ice which is solid, which is a solid state of matter, can be changed into water, which is a liquid. So we can say that these states of matter or these states of water, because water also exists in three states, right? So these states of matter are interchangeable, means they can convert from one state to another state, that is from liquid to solid, solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to liquid, gas to solid, solid to gas. So all these processes are taking place in the states of matter. And that is why we can say that these states are interchangeable. That means they can change from one state to another state. But how these changes occur in them? Yes, these changes depend upon the movement of the tiny particles present in it. And that is why these changes occur in different states of matter. And that is why they are able to change from one form to another form. So let us start with the processes which takes place in all these states of matter. So the first process which we are going to study over here is evaporation. As you can see here, see in the picture that liquid state can convert into gaseous state, and this is termed as evaporation. Let us understand more clearly about evaporation. Yes, the process of the conversion of liquid into gaseous state is called evaporation. And the best example again we will take here is water. The process of the conversion of water into steam or water vapor is called evaporation. But how does this process takes place? How the liquid state of water converts into gaseous state, that is into steam or water vapor? Let us study about it. Yes. Now let us understand it with the help of an experiment. First of all, take 3/4 cup of water in a pan. Turn the stove on to high. Watch the liquid boil and evaporate and point out the steam. Now what can you observe, or what will you observe? Let us see the observation. Yes. We will see when water gets heated, it evaporates, or it changes into water vapor or steam. And how does these changes takes place? Yes, this happens because on heating, the particles of water start moving or vibrating faster. And finally, the particles which were in liquid state will break free from their existing arrangement and escape into air. Means the particles which were present in the liquid state will break their arrangement, and then they will escape into the air. And finally, when they will escape into the air, the particles will be able to move more freely in the gaseous state as compared to the liquid state. So we can say that they finally change into gas, where the particles can move much more freely. Try to recall the picture which we observed in the gaseous state and the liquid state. In the liquid state, the arrangement is somewhat in which the particles can flow, the molecules can move, but not so freely. But in gaseous state, the molecules move very freely. That means they are very much far apart as compared to liquid state. So we can say that on heating, the particles of the water start vibrating faster, and that is why they break free from their existing arrangement and escape into air to change into gas, where they can move more freely. So we can conclude that heating a substance makes its particles move or vibrate more faster. They get apart and have no bond with each other. means on heating the particles will vibrate faster, right? So this is all about the evaporation. I hope you are clear with the evaporation process. Now let us move on to other process. Yes, the other process which we are going to study in today's session is condensation. So let us see an overview of this condensation. Yes, the gaseous state which converts into the liquid state is known as condensation. Let us see the definition. The process of the conversion of gaseous to liquid state is called condensation. And again we will take the example of water. That is the process of the conversion of water vapor or steam to water is called condensation. So how does this happen? As you know that in the gaseous state the molecules are very far apart, but when they condense means to combine together. When they combine together they form liquid state. That means the molecules which were very far apart before have now condensed, and now the molecules will be able to move freely, but not so freely as in the gaseous state, right? So let us study more about condensation. Let us understand this also with the help of an example. Yes, this can be experimented, or we can take an example with a pan of a boiling water. Place a cool spoon in the steam. Remember, we have to place a cool spoon in the steam, not in the water. And after some time we can observe the liquid on the spoon as the water vapor condenses. Condenses means it will combine the molecules together and then it will convert it into liquid form, which actually appears on the spoon which we had placed in the steam. So this steam which had far apart molecules have condensed and formed the liquid on the spoon. So we can try this experiment at home. It's very simple and very much explainable and interesting. So let us now study that how the particles or how the movement takes place in the process of condensation. Yes, when the freely flowing particles of steam touch a cold surface, it condenses, and cooling the substance slows down the movement of its particles. Remember, heating a substance always make the particles, or we can say it makes the movement of the particles faster, but cooling the substance slows down the movement of its particles, and then the particles thus becomes less free to move and change from gas to liquid, that is the water state. As we know that water is liquid at room temperature. So whenever it comes to a room temperature, means we can say whenever it touches a cold surface or whenever it comes to a room temperature, it changes into liquid form, right? So we can say that steam condenses to form the water, right? Yes. So this is all about the condensation process. Now let us move on to other process. Let us understand other processes. Yes, the other process which we are going to study is melting. Children, a change from a solid state to liquid state is termed as melting, as you can see here. Try to recall the arrangement of the solid state. Yes, the solid state has an arrangement just like a rigid pattern, and liquid state the molecules are able to move freely. With the solid state, in solid state, the molecules are not able to move freely because they are tightly packed with each other, that they do not have even space to move. So, how does this change of solid state into liquid state occurs? It is all because of the process of melting. But how this process takes place? Let us see. Yes, we will here take a very simple example. This you can try at your home also. If we keep the ice cubes at room temperature, after some time we will observe that it has converted into water, right? So how does this takes place? This is all because of the process of melting. When we keep the ice cubes in the refrigerator, it is at its same state, that is the solid state, right? But after some time, when we keep the ice cubes outside, that is at the room temperature 32 degrees Celsius, we will observe that it has converted into water. So how does this takes place? Ice cubes melt and convert into water, but how these particles inside the ice cubes convert into water? Let us see. Yes, the water particles in solid ice are rigidly packed to give it a fixed shape. As we know that solid state have the molecules inside it in a very rigid pattern. And when ice is taken out of the refrigerator, it melts gradually. This is because in a warm place, the water particles in ice starts vibrating faster and finally breaks away from the rigid pattern. And when it breaks away from its rigid pattern, they become loosely packed as in the liquid state and forms water finally, right? So this movement of water molecules, or this movement of particles or the molecules which are present inside the solid state, converts into liquid state by vibrating faster. Try to recall in which process the particles were able to vibrate faster. Yes, in evaporation. So we can say that this process is somewhat similar to the evaporation process, because there also the particles start vibrating faster, but the difference between these two processes is that in evaporation, by heating a substance, the particles start moving faster or vibrate faster. But in this thing, what happens? Yes, when it is kept in a warm place, it is not all about heating, but just keeping at a room temperature, it starts vibrating faster and it breaks away from the rigid pattern, right? So always remember that this melting process and evaporation process are somewhat similar. Now let us move on to other process. Yes, freezing. A change from a liquid to solid state is termed as freezing, right? Now you will be imagining that how can a liquid state change into a solid state? Yes, it changes because here what happens, the liquid state in which the particles are able to move freely, they will condense themselves, they will freeze themselves, and they will finally change into the arrangement of a rigid pattern. They will give themselves a fixed shape and will convert into a solid shape or solid state, right? But how this process occurs? It occurs by freezing. Now let us understand more clearly. Yes, during this process, that is liquid to solid, the molecules get closer together. For example, if we keep the water in a refrigerator, after some time we will observe that it has changed into ice, right? So you will be very familiar with this example, and if you are not, you can try it at your home, right? So if you will fill up the water in the ice tray and if you will keep in the refrigerator, after some time you will observe that the water has converted into ice. That means this is the best example of conversion of the liquid state into the solid state. And this happens by freezing, because whenever you keep the ice tray in the freezer, after that you are able to see the ice. So how does this process take place? Yes, when water is cooled, that means when it is kept in a refrigerator or any cool condition, its particles start slowing down and pack themselves into a rigid shape, thus forming the solid ice. But remember, the change of state not only takes place in the water but in other substances also. Just like water, like mercury is also liquid at room temperature, but it converts into solid state when kept in a frozen condition. That means approximately at minus 39 to 40 degrees Celsius, it converts into solid state. And as we know that mercury is liquid at room temperature. So this is one amazing thing about mercury, just like water, right? So can you try to recall, can you try to correlate this process with the other process? In the same way, condensation process also used to work. So condensation and freezing are such processes which are somewhat similar to each other. But remember one thing, melting is the process which is opposite to freezing. That is, melting is solid, conversion of solid to liquid state, while freezing is the conversion of liquid to solid state. In the same way, did you notice this difference between the evaporation and condensation? Evaporation process is also opposite to the condensation process, because in evaporation there is a conversion of liquid to gaseous state, while in condensation the conversion takes place from gaseous state to liquid state, right? So this is all about these processes. Alright, now let us move on to other interesting topic, other interesting processes. Yes, expansion. Children, the process in which the volume of the substance increases with the increase in the temperature is termed as expansion. So which factor is playing an important role over here? Yes, temperature. It is an environmental or external factor which plays an important role in the process of expansion. Now expansion is the term which is self-explanable, like the process in which the volume of the substance increases. So any substance which increases with the increase in temperature, it will expand, and this process is termed as expansion. As you know that matter increases in volume when there is an increase in temperature. Like when something expands, it takes up more space, and when something contracts, obviously it will shrink. So we can say that the volume increases the most in the case of gases. So most liquids as well as some solids expand or contract only on the basis of the changes in the temperature, and the volume increases by itself the most in the case of gases, not in the case of liquid or solid. It takes place, but it depends that how much temperature it requires to increase in volume or to expand or to contract, right? So we can say that heating a substance can make a substance expand. When substance is heated, the particles start vibrating rapidly or faster rate. Thus each particle takes up more space due to their increased movement, and so the substance expands. So the increase in size of the matter on heating is called expansion. Now let us understand more clearly with the help of an experiment. Yes, before going to the experiment, there is one example, a very good example of expansion, of the process of expansion which we can see is electrical cables. Electric cables expand in the summer season. As you can see here that these are some of the electric cables, these are the wires which expand in the summer season. Now how does this take place? Yes, in summer season, as we know that the temperature is very much high, it is very hot. And as we studied, when a substance is heated, the particles start vibrating faster, right? So these electric cables takes up more space due to their increased movement because of the heat which is actually taking place in the summer season. And that is why the electrical cables hang loosely, as you can see here. These electric cables hang loosely because of the expansion in the summer season. Alright, so that was a beautiful example which we saw about expansion. Now this is an interesting experiment to show expansion process. Now what we have to do, in a cool room, we will take 4 balloons and we will fill the first balloon about half full, second balloon 3/4 full, third balloon normally full, and the fourth one 2 full, that is totally full. Now we will take each balloon outside one at a time, beginning with the balloon with the least number of gas. Imagine that, or assume that we are actually filling it with the helium gas, which is the very lightest gas. Right, so we will begin with the balloon with least number of gas. Now what happens to each balloon when it is exposed to the hot air? Or we can say that what happens to each balloon in the hot air? What will be the observation? Let us see. Yes, we will see that the balloon expands when it is exposed to the hotter air. Whether the balloon with least number of gas molecules or whether the balloon is with large number of gas, it is not, we are not concerned with the number of gas molecules present in it. But whenever the balloon is exposed to hotter air, it expands. So what is actually the concept behind this process is that the hotter temperature inside the balloon makes the molecules inside the balloon moves at a very faster rate, right? So we can say that the hotter temperature makes the molecules move at a faster rate, which puts more pressure on the balloon walls and makes them expand. And that is why we can say that each balloon expands when exposed to hotter air. So this is all about the movement of the molecules which are taking place inside the balloon. But remember, this doesn't happen with all the substances, right? There is an exception of water. Water expands when cooled or frozen, and it contracts when warmed or heated. So remember that other substances, when they are exposed to air or any other thing which is exposed to air, that is the hotter air or the hotter temperature, then it will expand. But water, when cooled or frozen down, then only it will expand, and it will contract when it is warmed or heated. So this is somewhat opposite case with the water, right? So this was a beautiful example which we saw. Okay, now let us see what happens the next. Yes, with the expansion we will also now learn about contraction. But before learning about contraction, there is one more example of expansion which came into my mind right now. Yes, there is a tight metal lid of a jar which cannot open. Now what can you do? What can you do at your best? Yes, you might have noticed or observed your mother that when a tight metal lid of a jar is not opening, she dips it into the hot water. And what happens? After some time, the lid opens. Now how does it open? So easily, when it was not easily opened by our bare hands? Yes, this is all because that the heat of the water causes the lid to expand a little when it is dipped in hot water. So this tight metal lid, when it gets expanded, it opens on its own. And this is the best ever example of expansion process. So in this way, we can open any hard thing which cannot be opened by our bare hands, but we cannot open all the things, right? This is one such example of expansion to explain the expansion process, right? So the heat of the water causes the lid to expand a little and then it opens out easily, right? So that was all about expansion. Now let us study about the contraction process. Yes, this is somewhat opposite case. The process in which the volume of the substance decreases with the decrease in temperature is termed as contraction, right? So try to recall in expansion, that was the process in which the volume of the substance used to increase with the increase in temperature. But here, the volume of the substance decreases with the decrease in temperature, because here contraction occurs, right? So this is actually termed as contraction. The substance will contract when there will be decrease in temperature. The volume of the substance will also decrease, means it will contract, and this process is termed as contraction. So whenever a material is cooled, the particles actually slow down, and we can say whenever something contracts, it shrinks. Now let us take that balloon experiment again here. We know that balloon is filled with air and balloon walls are very tight. Now what we have to do, place the balloon inside the refrigerator or freezer and wait to see what happens. Now what will be the observation? Yes, after a while we will see that the balloon walls have contracted. Now how they have contracted? Yes, when the gas molecules inside the balloon are at room temperature, they bounce around inside the balloon, which makes the sides of the balloon feel tight. But if the molecules are slowed down, means when they are kept inside the refrigerator, so obviously the molecules are cooled down. and the molecules move slower and push on the balloon wall less, and when they push on the balloon wall less, they shrink. The volume of the balloon decreases, and that is why it shrinks, it contracts. So this contraction takes place when the balloon is actually exposed or it is kept in the freezer or refrigerator, right? So if the molecules slow down enough, the balloon walls will collapse and they will contract in, and that is why this contraction process takes place. So I hope you are clear with this process. Now let us understand the contraction process with the help of one beautiful example. Yes, again the electric cables. Electric cables contract in the winter season. As we saw, that electric cables expand in the summer season because of the heat taking place, but in winter season, as we know that there is not much amount of heat, or we can say that heat is not so much there in the winter season. The temperature is low, right? The temperature is less in the winter season. The heat is less. So because of this, the electric cables, they become tight, or we can say in the scientific terms that they contract, or they contract in the winter season, right? So this is one such beautiful example of electric cables. Another example is of the hot air balloon. Yes, hot air balloon flies in the air because of the hot air present inside it. So we can say that the decrease in the size of the matter on cooling takes place, and it is due to the effects of heating and cooling only that occurs in the hot air balloon. So hot air balloon flies in the air because of the hot air present in it, and due to this hot air balloon will expand. So we can say that the expansion process takes place in the hot air. Now let us see one more picture. Sorry, there is no such picture. Now you must have observed that sometimes the hot air balloon also gets shrinks, and that shrinkage occurs, that contraction occurs in the winter season, that is in the cold region or the winter season, right? So how does that occurs? It is all because of the contraction process, right? So all these things occur with the expansion and contraction process, right? So this was all about the processes which takes place in the states of matter. I hope you enjoyed this session and you are clear with all the processes. We will meet in the next session with a new lesson. Till then, keep learning, keep enjoying. Thank you, children.